Imagine finding the perfect home, only for your own real estate agent to talk you out of it. Not just once, not twice, but almost every single time. That's exactly what happened to one couple, and now they're left wondering, is their agent really protecting them or sabotaging their chance at buying a home? Let's dive into their story. A husband and wife had just started looking for their very first home. Like many new buyers, they weren't looking for anything extravagant. No million-dollar mansion, no fixer-upper nightmare, just a simple, family-friendly 3-bedroom with a decent yard. Somewhere they could settle into, raise their soon-to-arrive baby, and start building their future. Now, here's where things get interesting. The timing of their home search actually looked promising. In their area, housing prices were beginning to cool down. The market was shifting. Houses were sitting on the market a little longer than before, which usually means buyers have more leverage and more choices. On the surface, it should have been the perfect time to find their starter home. But the reality? Not so smooth. They were working with a real estate agent who came highly recommended. Friends had bought homes with her. They trusted her judgment. She was supposed to be the person who guided them through the chaos of the market. But every time the couple found a house that caught their attention, she seemed to shut it down almost immediately. Let's look at some of the examples. The first house they liked? The agent pointed out that the yard layout was awkward. And to be fair, when they thought about it, she wasn't wrong. The space probably wouldn't have worked well for family life. So they agreed, crossed that one off, and kept searching. But then came the second house. It was a hot listing, generating buzz. Now, in real estate, hot listing usually means multiple offers, bidding wars, and often prices going well above asking. The agent told them straight, "Don't bother. You don't have the cash to compete." And while that's a fair warning, here's the part that bothered them. Why not at least go look? Sometimes a home gets labeled a hot listing, but doesn't actually get as many offers as predicted. Sometimes buyers pull out. Sometimes the market shifts overnight. Why not give the buyers the chance to see it with their own eyes? Then came house number 3. This one looked nearly perfect. A nice big backyard. A layout that worked. Plenty of space for the baby. But the agent? She immediately flagged problems. She said the road nearby was too busy, too loud, and unsafe for raising a child. She also pointed out that it was close to commercial land, and she wasn't sure what type of businesses might eventually move in. Now here's the tricky part. On one hand, those are valid concerns. No one wants to discover after closing that their dream home backs up to a noisy highway, or that a gas station might pop up next door. But on the other hand, shouldn't the buyers still get to decide for themselves if those trade-offs were worth it? Then there was yet another house. This one was in one of their top choice townships. They found it listed on another website. It had been sitting for about 3 weeks, which in this cooling market made it sound like an opportunity. But their agent? She waved it off too. He waved. Her reasoning? It was in a flood zone, because a small creek ran through the property. And on top of that, the home used propane heat, which she claimed would be very expensive long-term. Now, let's pause here. These concerns aren't made up. Flood zones can affect insurance rates, mortgage approvals, and even resale value. Propane heat can be more costly depending on the region. But the buyers were starting to notice a pattern. Every single home, no matter how promising, came with a list of reasons not to even bother visiting. At this point, they were frustrated and confused. Was their agent just being cautious? Or was she being overly negative and controlling the process? They even noted that one of the homes was listed with her own agency. So it didn't seem like she was purposely steering them away for personal gain. If anything, she was pushing them away from potential sales entirely, which made them wonder, why? Here's where the psychology of home buying comes in. When you're a first-time buyer, every piece of advice from your agent feels like gospel. After all, they're the professional. They know the market. They've been through dozens of deals. But there's a fine line between guidance and gatekeeping. And sometimes buyers walk away wondering, is my agent really helping me or holding me back? This brings us to an important real estate lesson. Most agents work entirely on commission. They only get paid when a house is sold. That means, logically, an agent has absolutely nothing to gain by pushing buyers away from every single home. In fact, the sooner you buy, the sooner they get paid. So from a financial standpoint, sabotage doesn't make sense. But here's the other side of it. Agents also build their reputation on client satisfaction. If you buy a home that ends up being a disaster, whether it's too noisy, too expensive to heat, or a flood insurance nightmare, who are you going to blame? Probably your agent. And that negative reputation can spread quickly. So, is this agent being overly cautious because she truly wants to protect her clients? Or is she letting her own fears and biases get in the way of letting them see homes they might actually love? It's possible she's simply risk-averse. Some agents focus so hard on avoiding potential problems that they forget buyers are adults who can make informed choices. After all, every home will have flaws. Even the so-called dream homes come with compromises. Think about it. Would you rather have an agent who hides problems and pushes you to buy quickly? Or one who calls out every issue but sometimes makes you feel like you're never allowed to be excited about a house? The balance should be in the middle. A great agent points out the risks, but still lets you walk through the home and make the final call. Because at the end of the day, it's your money, your family, and your future. And this couple? They were left wondering if they needed to have a frank conversation with their agent, or maybe even look for someone new who trusted them enough to form their own opinions. So let's circle back to the big question. Was this agent protecting her clients, or sabotaging their search? Maybe both. Maybe neither. Maybe she was doing her best, but forgot that buying a home is not just a financial decision, it's an emotional one. And emotions matter when you're choosing the place you'll raise your family. So what do you think? Should the couple stick it out with their cautious agent or cut ties and find someone new? Was she looking out for them or standing in their way? If you found this story helpful, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who's house hunting, and subscribe so you don't miss more real estate breakdowns. And if you're a first-generation homebuyer, join the First Gen Homeowners community, where we learn, share, and take this journey together. Thanks for watching. Bye.